Good evening. I come before you this evening representing thousands of South Jersey commuters who can't be here with me tonight. I'm going to cut to the chase and not mince my words. I want to make our frustrations and our dissatisfaction with New Jersey Transit very clear. You may think your empty promises ring hollow and are meaningless, but your decisions and inaction of getting the line up and running has had detrimental impacts to over 2,000 commuters who rely on this service. Director Corbett stood in Atlantic City and told us that trains would resume operation on January 1st. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting your cell phone conversation over there. That date came and went. No train. No train to Atlantic City, no train to Philadelphia, no train along the line anywhere. We were then told perhaps January. That turned into maybe February, and now as it stands, it might take until June, as I understand it. If you would have been forthcoming from the very start, I think we would have understood the situation. Now, we all know the suspension of the service of the line has nothing to do with PTC installation. We've been over this many times. No line in the country, or therefore the state, has ever been suspended or seen the same fate as the Atlantic City line. And the SRNJ, the freight service that goes from Winslow Junction to Atlantic City, remained intact and uninterrupted. PTC installation was completed in late November, but it took you until January to come up with another excuse blaming the federal government for the shutdown, for the delay in saying the FRA had to inspect the line and the equipment. It came out nearly 2 weeks ago that that was a lie, and the FRA said on record, as reported by Bloomberg, that you could restore the service at any time you want it. So why aren't you? In addition to your obvious mismanagement of the system, I want to point out a couple factors regarding your fiscal irresponsibility. So I have to ask this question. Why were locomotive engineers reassigned to North Jersey lines, but conductors still continue to work on the line? We're told that they're helped to guide passengers on the buses, but am I really going to believe that after 6 months we have passengers that don't know the train isn't running? And then furthermore, a lot of these employees, a lot of these conductors make over $100,000 a year. Think about that. And they're getting paid for the assignments that they were on prior to what they're doing now. So some of them are making 10 hours of overtime a week. Some of those jobs include fueling a train that's invisible and non-existent. Talk about fiscal irresponsibility. Keeping along those lines, I want to talk about the 7 locomotives leased from SEPTA. Now, these were PTC-equipped locomotives, okay? We understand that there was a deadline, late December. You know, they're paying $350,000 for 7 locomotives that are sitting in the yard in Morrisville collecting rust. Now, I understand that they might... Yes. Thank you for the support. So, these locomotives, while they're not they're not compatible with the train line system of your current equipment, which I have to ask why you would seek out locomotives that weren't, properly equipped. They're continuing to sit there. They can be used as cab control cars. They can be used to lead trains. There's 7 of them. We only need 4 for the Atlantic City line. All right? Now, look, I'm not speaking out of anger. That never gets anybody anywhere. I'm speaking out of sheer frustration and utter shock that you believe that there are people out there that will eat up your disinformation and take it as the gospel. You should all be ashamed of yourselves. We need our train service restored. We need an improved schedule, and we need you to recognize that South Jersey does exist. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker.